Hi everyone, it's Robin and welcome back to Happy at Home. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the items that I picked up at a flea market. So every year my family and I go on this camping trip to Hayward, Wisconsin. So Hayward, Wisconsin has a flea market every single Monday morning all summer long. It is awesome. So every time I go up there to go camping, Monday mornings is flea market day. And I have been going for quite a few years now and it never ever disappoints. I always find really good stuff at really good prices, and this year was no exception. Two of my daughters came with me this year, along with my mom, my sister, her daughter, and my brother came this year. So it was very exciting. My brother had a great time. He picked up a few things that he's been looking for. My sister found a few things herself, although she's not a big like vintage or antique person, but she always manages to find a couple things. And my girls really got into it this year, which I think is super cool. Zoe and Emily both came with me. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite things that they picked up before I show you my items, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, let's show you what Zoe bought. Now, she has got a ton of stuff already in her room that she picked out this year, and basically she was on a Minnie Mouse hunt and she found quite a few things. She found like 2 cups, like a mug, and a couple like glass containers that all had like Minnie and Mickey Mouse on it. And she's always looking for like the vintage Minnie Mouse, and she actually found a couple of them, so she was super excited about that. But because she took them to her room right away and started decorating with them, I can't show you them. But I can show you the one thing that I did take from her room, and it is this right here. Look at this little guy. A cute little suitcase. Isn't it adorable? She has one like this in a green color that she uses like all the time when we go, you know, like overnight bag. It's like the perfect size for an overnight bag. It is so adorable. This one is slightly bigger and it was only $1. The inside of it is in super good condition. Itself, it even still has, I can't get it open. What is going on? There we go. Oh. Alright, so the inside is in super good condition. It doesn't smell terribly. It's got a little bit of a musty smell, but I think I can take care of that. There's a little bit of, what do you call it? Rusting on the hardware itself, but nothing big. And it's super sturdy still. There's some scratches on the outside and stuff, but I think most of that we can probably buff out or make, you know, look a little nicer. But yeah, $1 for this cute little suitcase. Super adorable. Love that a lot. So moving on to what Emily picked up. She is into cameras. I know, right? She's into vintage cameras. She's into vintage like radios, that sort of thing. And this time around, she scored big time. She found 3 cameras, well, 2 cameras and a video recorder, which is amazing. So the first camera she found was this one right here. It is by Sears and it is super cute. Got a nice little dial on it. This is 1000 MXB by Sears. It's a TLS, I have no idea, but it's got this nice strap on it. It looks like a nice sturdy camera, and yeah, super cool looking, I think, for displays. I don't know that this one works. She already took the tags off. I do not know how much these cost. One of them didn't work anymore. It's just simply a display, and I think it's this one. So yeah, pretty cool camera, if you ask me. So then the next camera she picked up comes in this cute little case right here. Has a nice strap on it, a little leather case. And let's see if I can figure out how to get this thing opened. I do not know if I can. There we go. Alright, I'll just take it, let it go like this. This one is a very nice looking camera. This one I think still works, the guy said. I can't remember how much she bought for this one. Bought this one for either, but It's got a nice little mechanism. It is attached to the case down here. I don't really feel like taking it out, but it's, like you can see, this nice silver color, and it's a German. Vontelander. Vontelander? I don't know how to say it. I'm sure I'm not saying it correctly, but this one is super duper cool as well. So she will be displaying this one also, I am sure, in her room. And she wants to learn how to take pictures with 35mm, you know, the old-fashioned way, and then do it in the dark room and all that sort of thing. So now she actually has a camera that will work for that, which is pretty cool. So, moving on to her very last thing that she picked up. This is the Brownie movie camera. Still in its original box. So cool. And it looks like this. Super neat.
You talking about my stuff?
I'm talking about her stuff. This is a Brownie camera. There you go. How cool is this? Oh my goodness. I am just obsessed with this. If she wouldn't have bought this, I would have bought it.
It still works, the guy said.
The guy said it still works. You can still see through it. And yeah, it is pretty cool, I have to admit. He's like, this is what they used to film. What did he tell us? This is what they used to film, like the Beatles on.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you hear that click, 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 click in the old film, that's because they were using a Brownie camera. Isn't that cool? Love this so much. How much was it? Do you remember?
$20.
$20. So yeah, we're excited to see if that actually does work. So that is what Emily got, and I think she scored big time. So moving on to what I picked up this year. I felt like when I was there I was buying a whole lot of stuff, but it really turns out like there isn't a whole lot. But I love everything. That I found. So the very first thing that I found was this little shaker jar. I think it is so cute. It was only $1, and it says cocoa on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. And he has this little guy on here in blue. I just thought it was so cute. Very cute little shaker on the top, and I love the diamond etching on the side. I think that is so cool. So I picked that up for $1. I don't know that I'll use it for cocoa. I suppose I probably could. I'll have to clean it up a little bit and see. But I thought that was super cute. And it will go nicely somewhere in my kitchen. So that is a nice little find. And then these next two items, I do not remember how much they were, but I think they were $2. So it's this little set of, I guess, sherry glasses or port glasses. The reason these caught my eye was because at the thrift store not too long ago, I found some little glasses that are like slightly taller with this same design on it, which got a red band and like these little gold starbursts on them. So I thought, oh, look at that, they sort of match. Now I'm not sure if the patterns match exactly, like the reds I think are slightly different, but I thought they were super cool and that they kind of matched the other ones that I love so much. And yeah, I thought they were super cute. So I had to pick those little guys up for sure. The next thing I picked up was a brass bell. And this was $6, but I just fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. It looks like this. It's got a nice little sound. Ooh. And I really liked it because it has like the little Swiss star on the front of it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. There you go. And then along the edging on the top, it's got like these little, it's got like little flowers on the top also. But I just thought it was a really super duper cute shape. I thought it would be a really fun, sort of interesting item to add to, you know, a stack of books or little displays and stuff like that. And just add a little vintage patina to some displays. So I thought this was really cute and I like it a lot. I think it is so cool. The next thing I picked up was a vintage Christmas tablecloth. Now I have quite a few in my collection, but I didn't have any like this one, which is, let's see if I can show it to you. It has the poinsettias on it, it has the little bells, and then on the bottom it's got this red edging, and then nice little red on the end, which is kind of cool. And this kind of looks like pine cones or whatever. And then in the middle, it's got a section. Can you see that in the middle? Like that? So anyways, I thought this was really cute. Not that I really needed another vintage tablecloth for Christmas because I have quite a few and I really only use one of them. But I thought, well, maybe I could make something out of it or something like that. And I really like the colors. It's in excellent, excellent condition, and it was only $2. So I wasn't passing it up. Isn't that cute? Oh, I just love vintage tablecloths. I think they feel so nice. I don't know what they use to make these, but it's such a nice fabric. So I was super excited to find that. And then, of course, I always have to look at the postcards. Always have to look at the postcards. And this year, I picked up 3 new Christmas postcards because I like to use these. These are nice to like frame or use, you know, tucked into little spaces at Christmas time, and I like the little vintage vibe that it gives the space. So the first one I picked up was $2. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. And it says, "A jolly Christmas be yours." So I thought that was really, really cute. This one does not have any stamps on the back, but it does have a little message on it. So it must have been one someone didn't send. So let's see. Oh, look at that. They were stuck together. I did buy 4 of them. This one was 50 cents, and I think it is really cute. I like the little graphic on it. And this one actually does have a stamp on it, and it's from Ohio, and it says 1915. That's what I love about these postcards, is having like the stamp on the back and the postmark on it, so you kind of know what year it came from. I just think that's so cool. 1915, 100 years ago. This little postcard is still around. Amazes me. Anyways, so then this next one I thought was so adorable. This one was $1. And it's like this little boy with this dog. And he's got little, like, what do you call those little snowshoes on? I think it's so cute. This seems very, like, Swedish to me. It says, "Best Christmas wishes. 'Tis a right striking Christmas I wish you." Alright. Sometimes their little logo is not very, doesn't make sense to me, but I thought it was super cute. So I'm excited to use that one. This one does have the stamp on the back. The postmark is very, let's see, it says 1914. So that's pretty cool. Then the next one I have, the very last one, I got this one because it had the bells. I am obsessed with the Christmas bells of vintage land and the little Christmas candles. Those are like my 2 favorite like images of vintage Christmas. So when I saw these bells, I had to get them. And this one actually is completely wrote on the back, like you can see it. It has the postmark on it from 1910. So cool. So yeah, so I picked up those 4 postcards, and I just think they're so fun to use. I would love to get them all framed up and like use them in a little display on the wall at Christmas time. I just think that would be so pretty. So I'll be working on that probably. Moving on. The next 2 items I picked up because I'm planning to redo like the wall behind my craft area. I have like the shelf, couple shelves on it, and like a bookcase, but I kind of want to redo things and not make it quite so like matchy-matchy, but just add things that make me smile. And when I came across these vintage maps, one for Wisconsin and one for Minnesota, I thought it would be perfect because, you know, I grew up in Wisconsin, I'm now living in Minnesota. I thought these were really cool. This one, the Minnesota one, is the official highway map of 1940, and this was $1.50. So I have not taken this out of the package yet. I don't know what shape it's in, but I'm hoping that it will be kind of in goodish shape, that I can maybe hang it on the wall, frame it up, that sort of thing. And then this Wisconsin map was $3, and this is the Highway Map Wisconsin by Standard Oil Company of Indiana. It doesn't have a date on it. Yeah, it might have a date on the inside of it, but let's go ahead and open this one up. This one seems much smaller than the Minnesota map, so I don't know why that is, but I mean, look at this. Can you see that? How fun is that? I just think maps are so cool. Anyways, I'm looking for a date. Oh wow, look at that. It gives me a nice big map of the US also. How cool is that? Loving that. I cannot read this teeny tiny little print. I don't think I'm going to have any luck finding a date on this because I can barely read the print. Super duper small. But anyways, this is pretty cool. I like the colors of this map. It's got a little bit of gray background and then it's got the red and black on it. You see that? So cool. I love that a lot. Doesn't really show the state very well though. But maybe once it's, I don't know. We'll see. We could probably do a little better. But I thought this was super cool. I'll be hanging on to that. Maybe I'll just use this side. United States side. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, somehow or another these little maps will be used somewhere in my house. So I thought that was a pretty good score for $3 for a vintage map. No, I can't get it back in there. I'll have to deal with that later. Alright, so now I have 3 things left to share with you. One of which is sort of small, and the other are 2 really large things. So let's get started. I cannot remember how much this was. I want to say it was like $3, and it is just a chicken feeder. Can you see that? Galvanized chicken feeder. Nothing extravagant about it. It's in pretty good condition. This side's got some black on it. I'm not sure what that is, but that's alright. This side's looking pretty good. So I'm going to get this side cleaned up. I'll probably use it on like my kitchen table, something like that. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of different things with these chicken feeders. So when I saw it, I asked the guy how much it was. He said $3 and I said sold. So yeah. Alright, so the next 2 things that I got are for my garden and they are rather large. So I'm going to do my best to show them to you. But yeah, let's just go for it. Let's see if I can hold them up. Oh, you see this? 2 square wash basins. Oh, they're heavy. Okay. So there's 2 of them. One of them was marked 27, and one of them was marked like 28 or something like that. What was it? 25. But the guy gave it to me for $50, which is awesome. So he gave me a little bit of a deal there because I was buying 2 of them. I bought the shape that is square. You see that? So both of them are square. They're both huge. They're both in pretty good condition. And I really wasn't looking for ones that were in that good of condition because I was going to use them as planters. In my garden, I'm redoing my vegetable area and I've decided that I'm going to do more of a container garden than instead of just in the ground because I don't grow as much vegetables as I used to. And I thought these would be perfect for one of them I will use for lettuce. Just fill it all up with lettuce. The other one I think I'm probably going to use as like, I don't know, probably tomato plant or something like that, or some small, tomato plant, maybe some pepper plants because it's probably big enough for a few different plants in it. But I won't get to it this year. They'll be for next year, and by then I'll know if I need to buy more because he had so many of them and they're all probably in the 20-25 range, and I thought that was a really good price. Because if I find them here in the cities where I live now, they're 40 to 50 and they're super rusty and basically can't hold water anymore. And these actually hold water. So I was super excited about that. So now I'm like really excited to get out to my garden and finish that up and get it revamped and stuff. But it's going to take some time, which is kind of annoying. I wish I could just snap my fingers and it would be done and I could be using my new fun stuff. But that's not the way life works. I know this. But anyways, so that was the last thing, 2 things that I picked up. So overall, a pretty good haul. Not as much as I normally buy. Like, I didn't even buy any books this year. Normally I find some really cool books. But the maps, those were kind of a new thing. And I haven't found any new postcards in quite a while, so I was very excited about that. And then, of course, like the cameras and stuff, I probably can convince my daughter to let me use them as display items every now and then. So anyways, so if you are ever in the neck of the woods of Hayward, Wisconsin, around a Monday, stay a little longer and go to the flea market. It is definitely worth your time. I think they have like over 100 vendors. Most of them are, you know, vintagey, antique items, but there are a few of like newer items and just kind of like things that people make things and stuff like that that they're selling. But for the most part, it's vintage items, and I love it so much. I look forward to going to it every single year. I wish I could go more often, to tell you the truth. Maybe I'll make a road trip and go up there again once towards the end of the summer. Maybe they'll have better prices, which the prices already are pretty good, but I've never done that, so that would be fun to do. Yeah, I got people waiting to come in my room, so I'm going to sign off for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out with me, and checking out what I picked up at the flea market, and I will see you again very soon. Bye now.